Hello gamers, welcome back to another free-to-play UIM progress video. First up, I want to give a big GZ to free-to-play one steal at a time for 99 mage. Congrats, dude. Next, I want to give another GZ to Bony Ghost on maxing melees. Congrats. Then I want to give a huge GZ to Gilded Sphinx for being the first free-to-play hardcore Iron Man to achieve 99 prayer. Absolutely huge, dude. Congrats. And finally, the biggest of GZs to mid-level Skilla for achieving his 10,000 hour goal of achieving 25 mil rune crafting XP. Absolutely crazy. He's been doing this literally since before I even started my account, and he just finished. So again, dude, congrats and good luck on crafting. So in the last video, I was doing the hill giant loop of killing hills and then Obor, then telegrabbing and superheating the supplies from that. So I'm happy to say that I did finally end up getting the Obor club at around 296 KC, so a little dry. But with that out of the way, I was kind of at a decision point of whether I just wanted to keep going at hills or if I wanted to go for the clutch and log and to get the Bryophyta essence from Brio. So not a lot of people know too much about the free-to-play clutch and log, so I'll just kind of go over it real quick. So essentially, there's 88 collection log slots that are currently available to free-to-play. This includes things like the boss drops, random events, castle wars, beginner clues, and Tamdozel. It also includes a couple miscellaneous items like the Stole Scepter pieces, the actual boss keys, and things like the Shaman Mask. And then additionally, and actually very recently, they added the Forestry Felling handle, which we can get, though I'm not sure why. It's a members only item like to use it, but I just said it doesn't really matter. And then so that makes up 88 clutch and log slots, but not a lot of people really care too much about the clutch and log, especially because before they removed the last man standing shop from free to play, there were free to players that were able to use their points from doing that minigame to purchase some of the items. And that includes like the outfit and a couple other like weird cosmetic things that you couldn't really have any use for, as well as the wind tapes. And so that's why you'll see some of, especially some of the older free to players, like a lot of the guys in the free to play CC clan, they'll have like a lot of the tapes. I know a bunch of those guys did some like pretty big hours there. And you'll also see accounts like Free to Play Verf, who did it back in the day to get all those adamant arrows on his Free to Play UIM. He did that like right before they closed the shop. So because there's that kind of like weird thing where some people can get more than others, not many people really care about it too much. But I just figured that I would go and give it a try because I wanted to see if I could get somewhat lucky on the Bryophyta essence, and that way I could eventually go back to Hill Giants. So what you're looking at here is me actually killing the Moss Giants and trying to go for the Brio staff. So there's essentially three major places to kill Moss Giants within free to play. There's the sewer under Varrock, which is where I am here. There's also the wilderness spot, which is very popular for the increased T chance. And then there is the Crandor spot. So pretty much, if you're going to be killing Moss Giants, especially if you're on a Greyhelm, it's very much so worth it to kill them in the wilderness because it is single combat and the T chances are just so insanely better there than they are in the sewer. But, you know, because I don't really enjoy PKing and I don't really enjoy PKers like or even having to think about them at all, much less like worry about getting killed, I decided to do it in the sewer to give it a chance, especially because it's also pretty empty and it's very close to the Bryophyta lair, so that I could take keys and just go kill Brio as I was getting them. And this is because I didn't want to get like a huge cheese stack and then kill like three Brio and get the Brio essence drop and then have to like do a bunch of other keys. Because I won't lie, I really don't like the actual boss fight of killing Brio. I think the endlings or the growthlings, whatever they're called, are really annoying, and I hate that you can't actually like still deal damage to her without killing them, especially when there's like three or four different growthling waves that you have to deal with. So I did this for a bit. I think I got about 30 KC at Brio here. And after that, I had built up enough laws and nature runes to go for another telegramming trip. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't really enjoy this, so I don't think I'm going to go back. Finishing up the free to play collection log, at least the items that I can get, isn't really that important to me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Hill Giants, and I'm probably going to finish out most of my melees there. At least the ones I have to do before I eventually have to finish off at Odris's. So after I had finished up my law runes and nature runes that I'd gotten from doing Moss Giants for a bit, I figured that I would finally just send it and go for base 85's, because I was at 84 rune crafting and prayer, and those are the last two levels I needed to get up. So I did again my combination of doing Boneyard until hop limit, and then going back to doing Earth runes for the rest of the day, or at least until the hops regenerated. And it was while I was doing this, and it was right after I had gotten to 85 prayer, that Freckled Dad from the free to play clan decided to set up a week long EHP competition leading up during the week of Halloween. And I just figured I'd sign up on a whim. You know, I wanted to do a decent amount of Earth Rune crafting, and I figured that a competition would be a good motivator to do like a 40 or a 50 EHP week. Nothing crazy like that. But it was after the competition had started. I had a suboptimal entry to the competition because I had some family in town. I had to drive to the airport, which was during the pre-sits hour to the week. So I was only able to do like an hour before the competition actually started. And some of the guys like Freckled Dad were able to do it almost the full 6 hour. So they started with a pretty decent lead. But after the first day, I sort of realized that Earth runecrafting is sort of the best way to do a competition. And this is, of course, coming from the last World 385 competition where Baldwater Boy pretty much did Earth runecrafting the whole month, and he set like a pretty big record, and he won that competition. And so I just decided, you know, what the hell? Like, I got nothing going on during the week. The Halloween weekend, all my celebrations were going to be the weekend afterwards, so that weekend was pretty much wide open, and I just went all in on it. My days were pretty much I would wake up in bed. For pretty much from the moment I woke up, I would open up mobile, do a few laps there, using just the rune pickaxe to AFK the essence inventories. Then eventually, once I got out of bed, I get on my computer. I would pretty much open RuneLite immediately, start rune crafting. I would use the time it took me to AFK mine and inventory of essence to do whatever I had to do during the day, like use the bathroom or grab some food or do anything that I couldn't do either at my computer or on mobile with me. And because it was a competition and because it was kind of like exciting to do, I figured I'd stream every day of it. And I ended up doing that. And when I would stream, I would go and grab the adamant pickaxe to do the 2-tick essence like I usually do. And I really just went all day runecrafting every single day of the competition with minor breaks. I did have to go, it was a it was a Monday night to Monday night competition. So it was during the work week, and that Thursday I did have to go into the office, but every other day I worked from home and really just grinded to my heart's content. The only times I really ever really left my apartment were like a few grocery and just going on some walks to get some exercise. But during those, I'd usually have mobile out, and so I was able to at least get some runecrafting XP as I went. And that pretty much carried on the whole week. I was always in second place for pretty much the entire competition. Freckled Dad always just seemed to find like one or two more EHP each day. And even though he would go to bed and I would try to stay up a little later to try to grind out some more hours, he would always wake up way before me in the morning. And so I'd wake up to him having a decent lead on me. And then the final day of the comp, Sunday night going into Monday, I decided to try to just skip out on sleep to try to catch up to him in time. So what I did was I fell asleep, I think at 3 a.m. Sunday night, um, just because I was like absolutely exhausted. And then I set like an alarm for 3 hours later to wake up at 6 a.m. And pretty much the entire day Monday, I just did nothing but grind. like more efficient into like 2-tick essence mining for rune crafting, and streamed a bit of that afternoon. I blew off like all my work stuff that day pretty much. I just kind of called it a sit day, and I was just under him. So final standings of the competition, Freckled ended on a 97.4 week, and I was just 2 hours behind him at a 95.2. This is the most RuneScape I have ever played. And even though it was a team competition, I wasn't really caring about the teams much. It was really just trying to catch up to Freck and hoping that my teammates would get enough hours that we'd end up winning the competition. And luckily, we did end up winning. So again, I want to give a quick GZ to Tactical, Janahonen, and Pause for being my teammates and winning the first place team. It was pretty sick, and I'm definitely glad that all my effort wasn't wasted on this competition by not even winning the team version of it. And then looking at the individual standings, definitely want to give a quick shout out. First of all, obviously to Freck for winning, just absolute beast, the kind of hours he was putting in. And then also for DJ for being like third place, but always nipping at my heels each hour. And so he definitely motivated me to like play some more hours to keep my at least ranked two. And then to everybody else who played in the competition as well, love to see the big hours and just loving the competitions in general. I don't know if I can do a week anytime soon. I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do any kind of big hours like this anytime soon. Um, just from like straight burnout. Like I mean not like full burnout, but I don't think I can do 90. I don't even think I could do like 70 plus consistently. I'm probably just gonna go back to my usual like 30-hour weeks and lie low and relax for a bit. But yeah, fun comp. Hoping to see some more comps in the future. So with my main goal out of the way, which was base 85's and 1400 total, which I achieved about halfway through that competition, it's time to look ahead at what I'm going to be up to for the rest of the year. So there's a few projects I have kind of in the pipeline that I'm going to be working on. First one is I want to get the free-to-play UIM matching guide out. I've been collecting clips and getting a little bit of recording done for that just over the past couple weeks. But with the release of Forestry Part 2 that was on the horizon for a while, and with that potentially changing the meta for fire mating, which thank God it didn't, but I was unsure of that at the time, and I wanted to see if it would, so I kind of held off on it. And then, yeah, just this past week, Forestry Part 2 it came out, and as I said, it thankfully didn't really do anything. It just added another event and the felling axe handle that we can't even really do anything with. So with that out of the way, I want to make sure, and with the comp away as well, I want to get this matching guide done and uploaded, ideally by November 15th, because November 15th is the start of Leagues. Now, Leagues is a pay-to-play activity, but I had the idea during the last Leagues of doing a free-to-play in pay-to-play scenario kind of thing with Leagues. Pretty much, because it's Trailblazer, you can like unlock the areas and stuff, and just like get points and get higher XP. I wanted to see if matching a like free-to-play style Iron Man would be possible in that amount of time, and with what the game gives you, it would be as close to free-to-play as I could get it. So, for example, all of the drops that would be pay-to-play, things like seeds and herbs and all that, I would just not pick those up. And for any drop table that's like altered so that it only drops like some amount of something in free to play and then a different amount in pay to play. For example, like how flesh crawlers drop individual iron ores as opposed to noted like they do in members. I would just not pick up those, or I would just like drop any that wouldn't be like just one. There's gonna be a lot of weird rules and a lot of weird things that go on in leads because I mean that's the whole thing they put together with it all, with all the different like abilities and stuff, being able to bank without actually having to go to a bank, or being able to like use resources like smelting bars as you mine the ore, crazy stuff like that. So I mean, I figured it should be a fun way to see kind of what's going on with all that. Not sure if I'll make any content for it. Would be nice to have like a little video series or like maybe like a movie style thing. I'm definitely going to be recording clips during it. I just don't know what I'm going to turn it into yet. So definitely stay tuned with that. I think Leeds goes from the 15th of November to the first or second week of January, if I'm correct. It runs for 8 weeks, so it's not like a super long-term thing. In the meantime, though, I'm definitely going to still be playing the free-to-play UIM, of course. I'm likely just going to stay here at Earth Runes and just do AFK rune crafting. It's very easy, very light work, and it's pretty close to EHP. I think even my most AFK hours I can still get around zero point 0.7 to 1. So it's almost as good as Flash Trawlers, as long as I'm able to click at least once every minute or so. But that'll probably be the two main projects that go on between now and the end of the year. And then, of course, once the new year does roll around, my next project video will probably be like a year overview of 2023, where I can talk about all the gains I made this year and plans for the next year. I will say though that once runecrafting is out of the way and once all this stuff is out of the way, I do plan on getting back to melees. I want to finish out 99 strength and start on base 90 melees and just kind of eventually approaching the goal of finishing smithing. I've been putting that off too much. I've been wanting to get my runecrafting and prayer levels up. But now that I've hit base 85's, I think I'm at a good point, at least until I hit 99 strength, to kind of hold off on those and kind of stop going for those total levels. They'll come in slowly but surely. I'm sure that all this AFK-ness that I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year will get me at least 96.5, maybe 97 runecrafting, which will be pretty big. And then a lot of the melees from doing hill giants, I'm sure those prayer levels will start to come in slowly but surely. So base 90s will likely be some point, maybe early next year. We'll see. Runecrafting just takes so much time, so that's always just gonna be one thing where even putting in 100 hours during the past week competition, I only gained 1.5 levels. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for to this day. So thanks again everybody for watching. And just reminder again, I am on Twitch if you want to catch me live. I'm streaming live more and more. I'm now at a point where I'm streaming usually like twice a week at least. Generally weekday afternoons, and then maybe once over the weekend. Also, definitely feel free to check out all my reference videos on my YouTube channel. They're silent videos, so you can keep your music on in the background while you watch them. Just kind of making sure that a lot of these methods are documented with the XP rates that people are getting and so on. And yeah, thanks again, everyone, and I will see you all next time.